Just a quick heads up to those of you who are listening to this on YouTube. The Site-65 podcast is now on Spotify. Hooray! So go ahead and go to Spotify and search Site-65 podcast. That's Site-65 podcast. And you should see our logo pop up. And you can follow us and support us there. And if you're listening to this on Spotify already, thank you very much. Anyways, enjoy the episode. Welcome to the Site-65 podcast. I'm your host, Robert Tomato Peterson, and with me at this table today eating tacos is Keegan. Keegan, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
I would be doing better, but it appears that once again, someone has hacked into our comms and is listening to this conversation. Sir, would you like to identify yourself?
Oh yeah, hi. My name's Pharmacist. I'm part of one of your GUIs. Not that it matters. Just kind of not here.
God damn it. Can we go 1 week without this happening? It's been every single week. Not that I'm complaining about the free content, but at the same time, Jesus Christ, I thought our NordVPN subscription would work. But I guess those YouTubers lied to me.
Could have been the
Anyways.
YouTubers, or that NordVPN just maybe isn't advanced enough to stop the GOC. I mean, to be fair, it's not CI this time.
Yeah, that is true.
I'd rather the GOC.
Yeah. See, I seem a little more dangerous, but anyways, Mr. Pharmacist, is it? Welcome. I'm assuming you're here because you heard we were recording and wanted to just chat with us for a bit.
Just popping in, saying hi. Just
Fair enough.
here to monitor, watch, maybe make a comment or two. Don't worry about it.
Well, joke's on you because we're putting you on the spot right now. As we typically do with this podcast, which is being broadcast to all the other sites, so everyone can listen. Which, by the way, don't leak this to the general public. We don't want them knowing about the foundation. I'm trusting
I
you.
could have guessed.
Yeah, good man. We'd like to ask people who are new to the podcast to kind of introduce themselves, give themselves a little bit of backstory, let people know how they ended up in the positions that they're in. So, the floor is yours. If you want to talk before I go on my little story that I want to tell, go right ahead.
Well, it started a long time ago, and by that I mean roughly 2 years. I was in the 75th Ranger Regiment after getting recruited out of the University of Texas, and I was sent to a couple different places. Can't really tell you what, but I can tell you. Once in Afghanistan, there was an instance of a what do you call it? We call them KTEs. You guys call them something else. What is it again? Ah, right, SCPs. SCP-1788. You may have heard of them. You might not have. Essentially, it's just a group of people that like to hunt down teenagers, and one of them was an Afghani teenager. Needless to say, these SCPs are quite strong. Had to hold them off for at least a couple of hours. Foundation showed up, got out of there quickly. Got stopped by some United Nations members that weren't really there for peacekeeping purposes. Needless to say, that was the day I got recruited into, the GOC.
Wow. So you're not the first person to talk about serving in the Middle East on this podcast, and you probably won't be the last. Happens quite a bit. Yeah, so
you would be surprised how where there's in the Middle East there's a lot of weird phenomena that go on.
well, there's weird phenomenon everywhere. At this point, I'm just kind of numb to it. So I want to ask you, in your time in the GOC, what is the craziest thing you have seen?
That's a bit of a rogue statement when you're part of the GOC.
Okay, let me try to revise this. Here at Site-65, we have a limited number of SCPs that we see on a day-to-day basis. We obviously don't have the breadth of, SCPs that can't be contained or that are at other sites and such. So we're dealing with kind of the same 20 or 30 SCPs every single day. And with that, occasionally we see, 682 act up. We had a person tell a story a few weeks ago, or sorry, last episode, that 682 breached containment and walked to the site director's office to have a conversation with him, and then returned to his cell without hurting anyone. I've also had experiences with, 999, 035, one which I'll talk about later, and 049. So, in your time, because I know, I don't know exactly where you're located, but I'm assuming based on the fact that every GOC member that we've had on the show, which is one other one, has talked about Site-65 in some capacity, you're probably located close to Site-65.
You could say that. I mean,
Fair enough.
remember, we're still United Nations. I mean, we operate out of every single United Nations base in the world. There's only a couple of ones that aren't, strictly for UN purposes.
I get that.
To answer your question, I would say the five-fold breach that happened 4 days ago, where it was 682, 7722, 854, 049, and a type green. I don't remember if it was type green or A or B. Yeah, needless to say, that was a busy day.
That was a nightmare. We were locked in breach shelter for so long.
I hate that
Ugh.
place.
I don't mind it because the couches are prime napping couches. They're like couches you would find at your grandmother's house, but she hasn't taken like the plastic off yet. So like when
Yeah.
you're there visiting for the weekend, you take the plastic off and sleep on the fresh furniture, and it's just like, this is perfect. This is prime napping couch. But
You speaking from first-hand experience?
yes, I am.
So I
But
thought.
your grandma didn't have couches with plastic on it?
You know what? You might actually be right. I think they did.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
what grandparents do. They don't take the plastic off of shit.
Mhm.
But anyways, yeah, we were trapped for an incredibly long time, and all we heard through the steel walls was just a battle raging outside, and it was dreadful.
Yeah, we had to utilize quite a few bits of technology, so to speak. Probably felt the wall shaking and whatnot. Yeah, we
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
had to deploy a couple of different things. You can call them A10s, F-35s, whatever you want to call them. We just call them strikes.
Understandable. That's probably what all the noise was. It's pretty soundproof in there, but occasionally a blast gets through. But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
we're research, so we stay out of the battlefield. We just hide and write our documents and play with chemistry sets.
Except for the juniors.
Yeah, the juniors like to go charging headfirst into battle because they think they're invincible. They're not.
Oh, we know. Trust
It's
me,
always
we
sad to watch
know.
them die.
It is really sad, but at the same time, like they really should know better. But whatever.
Yeah.
I have a funny story I want to tell you guys. This happened very recently. So, pharmacist, you wouldn't know this. Well, maybe you did. Maybe I've driven you at one point. But when I'm not working in the foundation, I moonlight as a Lyft and Uber driver in Pinewood. So the other day, I'm driving around and I get a notification on my phone that says, it just says some dude named Adam wants to be picked up. And I pull up to this little like kitchen area in Pinewood, and I shit you not, out walks 035. And he knocks on my window, and I gently roll down the window, and he goes, "Hi, are you Tomato?" And I go, "Yes." And he goes, "Okay, cool." And he just gets in the back of my car and sits there with his hands in his lap. And I'm petrified at this point because I don't know what to do. Because I don't have my I don't have my Foundation contact phone with me. I just have my normal phone. So he goes, "Yeah, we're just going a couple miles down the road." And I go, oh, okay." And I start driving. He doesn't say a word the entire time. He's just sitting there. Nothing's like leaking out of his mask like normal. He's just very calm. He's wearing the clothes of some poor civilian. And we get to the destination, and the destination is about, I'd say 5 miles from the entrance to the Foundation. And it's just a shack. And he goes, "Hey, do you accept tips?" And I go, uh, yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. You could tip me on the app and before I know it, he just hands me $100. And I
Oh,
go, "Oh, uh, thank you." And he goes, "Yeah, no problem." And just gets out and walks inside the shack.
So
And
that was you. Okay. Good to know.
oh, oops.
What do you mean by that?
We're aware of this driving incident. And we did have eyes. A certain part of our group has access to. Well, we don't need to get into detail, but we had eyes on you.
Yeah, that makes
Knowing
sense.
this will be logged down.
Yeah, I was more stunned that it was 035. And that he wasn't aggressive at all. And that now that I think about it, he didn't have a phone on him. So I don't know how he called the ride. But
He's an enigma of an anomaly, to be fair.
yeah, sometimes he's very passive, sometimes he wants to murder us all. But
Glad he
it
wasn't
was
like murder right there. That would suck.
yeah, it was incredibly scary. And I immediately drove back to the Foundation and notified them, and by the time they got to the shack he was gone, so I don't know what happened there. So
We found him. Don't worry.
oh. Well, that's both
Did you
comforting to
bring him
know and
back?
also
Who said anything about giving them back?
God damn it.
God damn it.
Well, we're going to call a strike team, right? I don't know if there's many people available, but
Look, you. What am I saying? Of course, you can just abduct our SCPs. What am I going to tell you? No, I'm a researcher. I can't tell you what to do. But at the same
sure.
time, leave our SCPs alone. Damn it.
Let us
I don't
contain
think
him.
you have much of a choice.
We'll
Okay,
just let
but
NU7 handle it.
yeah, we'll have to talk to them after this. They'll probably listen to this episode and put down their 18th sandwich and just be like, "Oh, we got to go do something." Pull up their pants and
Can't stand
go out
outside
the
no
door.
more. We gotta
Yeah.
go.
The MTF are kind of incapable sometimes.
I like the A1s
Oh,
though.
oh, you have no idea.
No, I will
You
say
say that.
I will say the scariest thing you could see in the Foundation is not the SCPs. The scariest thing you could see in the Foundation is a cadet with a machine gun. Because they are off their rockers on some type of chemical, and they're just ready to gun down people. They're worse than some of the D class we deal with.
Telling me. I think I kind of want
Yeah,
to.
we did have a cadet. Sorry to cut you off, but
Nah,
we did have like 4 cadets walk up to our place of operation. They somehow figured out where we were and literally walked up to our place of holding and requested asylum. Needless to say, they didn't last very long, and we'll leave it at that.
They requested asylum?
Political asylum from your site.
Huh.
From Site-65. It is funny watching them squirm at the fact that, well, we had to contact, your guys, obviously, but they didn't really want him back, so, I mean, what else were we supposed to do?
Yeah, but at the same time, that's incredible. Wow. I had no idea stuff like that was happening. I don't know why people would want to. Like, I'll be the first to say I don't know much about the GOC or its operations and stuff like that. I'm not going to pretend I know. But at the same time, that's scary to know that that's happening. I mean, those are our trusted men. We hire them with the express purpose of protecting us, and then they just go off and do that shit.
Some people think that they're like.
We are the ones that. All right, when you guys are unable to respond to a threat, who do you think is the next hand? Us. You know how many anomalies that we've protected all of humanity from?
I'm gonna guess more than 3.
More than the ones we can know about. I'm believing.
More
That
than
is true.
3, more than, well, a number that high would take a while to say.
I think if we're talking about like weird occurrences,
Oh, no.
the
We're
the
not
weirdest.
we're not talking about just any kinds of anomalies.
No,
I'm talking about
yeah, no.
the real stuff.
I'm thinking he was more referring to weird things that have happened recently.
Yeah, I'm saying like in the facility, like recently, I was doing a document on a 076 and 909 cross test. I'm talking about doing that for a while, and I'm actually doing it. So I have everything basically set up. I just need the MTF to cooperate. Um, the D class cooperate a little more. I gotta be honest. And I walked by medbay, and there was all these tech experts talking about how they love eating drywall. Like they kept saying it continuously.
Hey, I mean, pica is no joke.
Oh
But
my god.
I was
I don't
wondering why the fuck they were like, because then they walked all the way to Tribunal, and I was like, why are you guys all talking about eating fucking drywall? Like
Because
who
they're
told you guys to do
weird.
this?
The tech experts are so weird.
I had a suspicion, and I asked, was it Carl? And most of them said yes. I got so upset. And then I turn around and
Yeah,
he's right there.
of course he was. You've been talking about Carl for a couple
He's
weeks now.
fucking creepy. I've gotten
I
reports of people like of him talking about telling someone a story and then he says some weird shit.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I've heard tales of this Carl, not just from you. Occasionally it seeps into higher up in research, and we hear rumors about Carl. And man, I don't know if I've met the guy before. I feel like I have.
I
But
hope
at the
you
same
don't.
time, it's just an odd dude. But yeah,
He's
I
a
don't
creepy
trust the tech
bastard.
experts. There's this one tech expert by the name of Birdie who recently came back onto site after like a 5-month absence or something like that. All I know is she was gone for a very long time. She comes back and she's talking to another tech expert, and all of a sudden she just stabs him.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just took out a knife and just poke, and runs away and was arrested immediately after and put in confinement. And she's done this like 3 times. People are afraid.
mm.
Yeah, it's not fun. We have a lot of weirdos at this site. I mean, I don't mind the weirdness.
Oh,
I'd
we
rather it
know.
be. I'm sorry, what was that?
We know. We've
Yeah.
heard about this person that you've described. At least 2 people have actually asked us to come in and detain them on international grounds. Of course, we didn't really listen to them, but we know about them.
Well, I must say, we're getting towards the end of lunch here. But I just want to say, Mr. GOC pharmacist, first off, thank you for hosting this episode with us. It's always nice to have new people on the show. And I know that, you hacking in is kind of a breach of contract and breach of code of ethics and stuff like that. But from what I've gathered, a lot of the foundation just seems kind of cool with it. So I'm just gonna let you know, like, you're welcome to host anytime you want. You don't have to hack in, just, send you probably have access to my email. Just send me an email if you want to host, and We'll let you in. We'll buzz you in through Skype or something and let you host. You don't have to hack
Well,
in anymore.
How do you think we knew that this was about to happen? You think we just randomly guessed? We have information everywhere.
Yeah, and that's the
not
part that
terrifying.
scares me. Yeah, that is terrifying. But anyways, Mr. Pharmacist, is there anything you'd like to say to the people listening? Anything you'd like to end off this episode with?
I don't think so.
All right, fair enough. Keegan, my loyal co-host, do you have anything you want to end off this episode with?
Not necessarily.
All right,
Yeah,
fair
no.
enough. Then, with that, I am Robert Tomato Peterson. This has been the Site-65 podcast. Thank you to Keegan and Pharmacist for hosting, and I hope you all enjoyed. Have a good one.